and keep you away from those who walk down this path but then got lost, then went astray, or earned God's wrath, earned Allah's wrath, right? Now for people who are seeking this truth, what is the measuring stick? The first measure is your own conscience. That's the first measure. The second measure is, if in fact it is from God, then it has to meet one primary standard. And that primary standard is, there can be no one between me and the worship of that one true God.
Nobody in the middle.
Nobody in the middle. There can be those who show me that path. But I'm not going to worship these people that are showing me the path. I'm only going to take their teachings to get to the path, because they may be the ones Allah favored. Just like I asked to show me some role models, some guides. So these are people that are role models, not ones to be worshipped, but rather to be looked at as role models, as guides. So this sincere attitude, this measuring stick, with this standard, when you try to seek a path, and you try to filter out what is it that's out there, what are the things that people are calling towards, and you find, and then in that quest, when we ask you humbly to consider, just sincerely look at Islam, sincerely look at the Quran, what is it asking you to do? What is it asking you for? What is it demanding from people? You will find it's essentially saying one thing: we created you for a purpose, right? And Allah says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We didn't create jinn or human beings except that they should worship me.
What's the we here, when you say we? So people are...
Well, actually, in that specific ayah, it's I. Actually, خَلَقْتُ, I didn't create. But in the Quran, we is used as a royal we. What that means is...
It's not some people might think, because they might come over from a Christian background, and they say Trinity, does it have anything to do with...
No, to understand that better, in the Quran, when God is exceptionally merciful or angry, He says I. Put the analogy, even though there's no parallel to Allah, but in language, if you think of a king, right? A king normally speaks of himself in royal terms. We have declared, this is our land.
I see.
You know? So, and come and kneel before us, right? So the king speaks of himself in royal terms, and this is very true in Semitic culture. Arabic is a Semitic language. But when the king is exceptionally angry, like some guy comes up to him and talks to him in a disrespectful way, you dare speak to me like this? He goes from we to what? Me, right? So the singular I is used in the Quran in cases of anger, and also in cases of mercy. But whenever Allah is talking about His royalty, His majesty, His kingship, His dominion, His provision, these grand things, then you will find the word we. So it's not in the literal sense, it's in the sense of royalty. And the other proof that it's not literally we is that the Quran uses the word He for God. Huwa, He. But there's no mention of they. You see, I and we is first person, right? But He is third person. So if this was truly plural, we would find plural in the third person too.
Okay, so this is the one God, not the three-in-one God, absolutely one God who created all of us, and this is the God that we need to ask for guidance, as you were saying.
Absolutely.
How do we get people to see the urgency of this? Some people say, you know what, I'll wait until I'm 40, 50, when I get a little gray hair, I still got some time. I want to chase the girls. I want to, look good for the boys. I want to hang out. Is this a good thing that people are doing? Delaying?
We'll be right back.
You have to pray as if everything depends on Allah, and it does. But you must work as if everything depends on you, and it doesn't. That's my point. You see what I'm saying, man? And I don't like that. I don't like us sitting here. What are you waiting for? What are we waiting for right now? What are we waiting for all these people to come to Islam? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for right now? When they're going to come? They're going to come, Allah going to bring these people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in our hand the ability to do it. Now do your job.
You know, from the Islamic point of view, all human beings are rich in one asset, time. The sick, the healthy, the man, the woman, the wealthy, the poor, the educated, the uneducated. Everybody has one thing that they have some authority over, is time. Now, that time is constantly being taken away from us. Our bodies are withering, slowly but surely. We're maturing, we can't help our growth. And as we're getting older, our bodies are decaying and we can't help that. We can't stop it.
Yeah.
We can slow it down if we try, but we can't stop it.
Yeah.
And we're all running in this stream of time. Nobody can run backwards. Everybody's headed forwards. إِنَّكَ كَادِحٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ كَدْحًا. You are marching forward. You know, it's like the imagery of, you know, those escalators. You're standing on it, there's no going back. You just got to keep going straight forward, forward, forward. Now Allah swears by that time that you and I are running out of. And He says one thing: no doubt every single human being is drowning in loss. So now think about this. Allah's, the Quranic view, the Islamic view, for all human beings. I don't care if you're rich or poor, wealthy or not, famous or not, healthy or not, doesn't matter. All human beings, no matter what their worldly life is like, no matter how much they think they're enjoying themselves, the Quran says they are drowning in loss. To help you understand this imagery, when I explain this to children, I use this imagery because it helps a lot. Imagine that you're drowning, but you're asleep. You're unconscious.
Yeah.
You're drowning. What is first of all, do you have a lot of time? When you're drowning and you're unconscious? You don't have a lot of time. Time's a big asset here.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of business immediately. But what is the first thing you have to do to have any hopes of saving yourself? For a person who's subconscious and drowning, what's the first step? They have to wake up. If they don't wake up, there's no discussion of anything else,
You gotta
right?
wake up, yeah.
You got to wake up. Now imagine that your dream is life is good, it's all great, everything around you is wonderful, you're partying, you're living it up, you've got all the time in the world, but that's a dream.
Wake up.
Reality is, you're actually drowning.
Yeah.
Now, when you're drowning and you wake up, let's say you do wake up, and you realize in fact that you are drowning, that was a dream. This is reality. The reality is actually unseen, and what you see around you is deception, right? When you come to that conclusion, then necessarily the person who's drowning, whether they know how to swim or not, they're going to try to flap their limbs and try to get out of the water. They're going to do whatever in their capacity. We said in the beginning discussion, the person who truly seeks guidance says, I want to worship you. I want to do something. I don't know what to do. Show me what to do to how to get out of this water, right? So this person starts, flapping away, trying to get out of this water. But this attempt to get out of your drowning state will not happen unless you do one thing first. You wake up. What do you wake up to? What's the reality? That time is running out. That is the ultimate loss of all human beings, is time. And people who think they have all the time in the world, and Allah speaks of this. There's a person whose attitude is يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَهُ. He thinks his money is going to give him eternal life. He thinks his money is going to last him forever. There are people who will build their house and mansion, and they'll reach an age where they can't even walk from one room to the other without help. Who's enjoying that mansion? Yeah, right? So there's this false hope that this world brings with it, and people get completely sucked into it and forget to open their eyes. The dream is too sweet. The dream is too sweet. So if for a moment your eyes have opened, don't let them shut again. Don't let them shut again. The last thing I'll say about this, which is really important, is there's a poet who gives an analogy of this reality. I mean, think about it. We are saying that all human beings are running out of time and they better get their act together, otherwise they're in real serious trouble. But do you see that trouble? No. We can't see it with our eyes. It's only going to be visible to you as soon as your eyes close forever.
Yeah.
You go into that ground and now you'll see what you did, right? But for now you don't see it.
Yeah.
For now you don't see it. So the poet complains, he says, I'm in the middle of the ocean, I'm hanging onto a raft, and it's raining, and I'm being expected not to get wet. And let me tell you what the poet's actually talking about. The poet is talking about us living in this world. As soon as you step out of your house, as soon as you flip on the TV or surf the web, there are things that you're bombarded with that you want. Car, house, girls, men, whatever it may be, right? Different desires are being pushed and blasted to you. Billboards everywhere, ads everywhere, the talk of money and what to do with it and what to get and what not to get and career and this and that. You're constantly being blasted with what you want to get.
Yeah.
And people are convincing you that this is success. If you have this, you will have success. Tell me something. If you are in a room that is on fire, or you're drowning, and somebody comes and talks to you about what kind of car you want to get, or what kind of house you want to live in, or when you're going to get your next promotion, Doesn't that sound crazy?
Yeah.
Before you talk about success, you have to talk about survival, right?
Yeah.
We are saying, yes, we want you to succeed. But before the discussion of success even becomes relevant, you have to make sure you're doing what? Surviving. That's the Qur'an's picture. And what the imagery I just shared with you is actually from Surah Al-Asr. You know, Allah swears by time, all human beings are drowning in loss, except those who believe. Believing is like waking up.
Yeah.
And do righteous deeds. And then it goes on, and that may be another discussion, what they do next after that.
We're almost out of time. Give us the people who are watching, who are sincere, who are honest with themselves. And you know what? You gave them that first thing that they can do is ask the Creator alone for that guidance, for the instructions on how to live their lives. Give us some more of a formula that people can follow to find the truth and to be on the truth.
First of all, I mean, we did allude to time just a few minutes ago. This search and this effort takes time. You have to sincerely put time into doing this. You have to take yourself away from the distractions and delusions that take you away from this quest. This is the essence of the matter. But in the end, my final advice would be, and this is the last part of it, if you sincerely ask for guidance, be ready for what you get. It may not be something you like. You may have to give up your desires for it, because you're not the one in the position of making demands. He's the one who places the demands, you accept them. Don't think of religion as, why is God not telling me what I want to hear? Why don't I have to do why don't I get to do what I want to do? It's not about you. You've already acknowledged you owe Him gratitude. He doesn't owe you anything. So be sincere and submissive in your search. So when you find the truth, you submit to it. You put your ego before it. And you put it on the ground, basically. And you give in to the Lord of the worlds.
Thank you very much. Jazakallah khairan. And we hope to see you back here again on the Deen Show. And we'd like to thank you for sitting tight through another episode of the Deen Show. I hope you got to benefit. He has given us the formula. It's very simple. Ask the one who created you to guide you and be ready to submit to what he tells you to do. It's very simple. And come back here every week on the Deen Show. We look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.